All right, we're live.
Hey.
Hey, and we're back.
Yo.
All of us are back.
We are all
Hello.
here.
Oh, yeah.
We did
I
it.
missed doing the show last week,
You
guys,
did.
gotta say. Yeah, of course. I always miss doing the show. It's like at this point, the week feels weird if I don't do it. It's been such a part of my life.
It for so long too. It's like what, 14 years now?
We were somewhere 14, 15. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think we
somewhere in
started at
there.
the
Yeah.
beginning of 2010, which, yeah, that's
It's a
getting
long
very
fucking
close
time.
to half my life. And then if you get rid of the first few years where obviously I don't have any memories or whatever, I could easily say from like my cognizant life,
Yeah.
over half my life is
Sure.
doing a podcast every week.
Yeah. Crazy.
But that's the curse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the curse of doing
Yeah.
content online. You trapped here forever.
Well, it was mostly the curse when I found that like abandoned treasure chest in the cave. And then this is. I mean, I got the gold out of it, but
But you're forced to podcast for the rest of your life.
Forced to podcast every
That damn genie.
Yeah.
Yep.
God damn it.
All right, before we get into the real stuff, how's your guys' week or a couple last weeks been? Anything cool going on?
No, fencing's been going good. That's about it.
Nice. Have you beaten anyone yet?
We had our first proper fight last week, so that was fun. And I assume tomorrow's session's gonna have a lot more. So
Did you win?
they didn't keep
Are you
score.
winning, son?
It was more of a get used to stabbing another person.
Okay. What's it like getting stabbed? Or did you dodge
Well,
every
you're
single
wearing like
blow?
you're wearing like a protective chest. You're wearing like a bunch of layers, so like you don't feel much.
Okay.
But it is weird
Cool.
having like, cause like fencing swords are just like or like super stiff, but they bend
They bend, yeah.
when they hit you. So it's weird having something that come directly towards you and then just it buckling and just like it's more like you're slapping you in the face instead with the rest of it.
Yeah,
It's
can't you
weird.
also like hit them on like the arms? Isn't that part of a thing as well?
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Any part of the body is fair game, basically. I think you're not supposed to
Nice.
hit them in the head. That's about it.
Oh, okay. Do you actually get points like deducted if you do that?
I think it's just considered poor sportsmanship.
Sure. Okay. Are you gonna come up with like a special attack? Like he always goes for the feet.
No, I was joking like, oh yeah, can I just like switch stances, like suddenly like put the foil in my other hand? They're like, no, you can't do that. No,
As someone
swapping
who's played a
hands.
good chunk of Nidhogg, can you throw the sword at them?
No, tragically you cannot because they are in actual like epee fencing. They're plugged in, so you would be throwing a cord that's attached to your arm.
They're plugged into the suit?
So yeah, they're plugged into the scoring systems. So that's how they actually track if
Oh.
you've hit someone or not.
Okay, so there's a cord. So could you throw it and like whip it back into your hand? I feel like there's got to be some
I don't think a
superhero
plug is
or
that
game
good.
that
I don't
has
think
that,
a plug
right?
is that good.
Okay. There has to be a character that has like a sword whip kind of thing. I know there's like Ivy from Soul Calibur, but that's a bit
Yeah.
different. I'm thinking of like a sword on like the end of some kind of like hook shotty thing.
I'm sure like I think a Dynasty Warriors did that where they're like on like ribbons or something like that.
Sure, probably. What about you, Paul? What's new?
Not a whole lot. Gaming's happening, so trying to keep up with games and stuff again.
Sure. Yeah.
Kind of crazy. We did start Severance, and it didn't take very long to get back into like that world with those characters. Pretty quick.
How many episodes in are you?
I think 3 or 4.
Okay, well, 4 is awesome. You'll know if 4 is
Okay,
outside. Does
probably
that
3
mean
then.
anything to you?
No.
Okay. 4 is great. Like it's everyone was like, this is the best episode of Severance, and then 7 is like, hold my drink.
Okay.
So.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And then 8 sucks.
Oh.
Wow.
That's a
Okay.
shame. That's
really
a shame.
set him up for this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a shame, but yeah,
Cool. Cool. I want to give a shout out to a new show I'm watching called The Studio, also Apple TV Plus. Stars Seth Rogen. It's like about kind of like running a movie studio. It's a comedy.
Oh, that seemed interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like all shot as a one shot, which is fun.
That's cool. Cool.
It is cool. Yeah. Not entirely one shot. They're like, especially episode 3. It was the most recent one I watched that has like a few shots, but they're all long shots. Episode 2 though is, I'm sure they hit it pretty well, but you can't see any cuts, and that was very cool.
That is cool.
The second episode's very good. Yeah. And there's like a lot of guest stars. It's really funny and good. They're having a lot of fun there. I would recommend The Studio for sure.
Cool. Nice.
Yeah. Okay. There was another thing I want to talk about, but it was NDA'd, and I couldn't think of a way to properly talk about it. So I'll talk about it to you guys offline.
Okay.
Okay. Fair enough.
I got to go to an advance.
You're not going to do that because NDA, but
exactly. I got to go to an advance, like a test screening for an unfinished movie. That was a cool experience. That was a weird experience.
Okay. Nice.
But unfortunately, I can't talk about it for quite a while.
Okay.
And otherwise, they will sue me for up to $1 million.
Jesus, really?
Man.
They're not fucking around.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Jesus.
Okay. Let's do the show. It's Top Down Perspective. It's April 10th. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
John Wheeler.
I actually want to do like some of this news stuff first.
Yeah, okay, let's do it.
Because we didn't get to talk about the Switch 2. You know, John and I weren't on the show last week. I didn't get to hear Paul's thoughts, but we got to talk about the Switch 2.
Sure.
And you know, so much has happened. Like I feel like every day there's new Switch news.
Sure.
John, start us off. What were your thoughts on? Did you watch the video? Did you watch the hour-long video?
I watched the video. I watched the direct.
Did you watch it twice?
It is the Switch 2.
It is.
The Switch, but the second one. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, the system itself doesn't excite me. It's like, okay, it's a more powerful Switch. It's exactly what I wanted.
Yep.
Cool.
That excites me.
Yeah. So I'm good for that. The games they showed were cool. Donkey Kong Bonanza seems really neat.
It looks really
Mario Kart
cool.
World looks amazing. Yeah.
Looks good. Yeah.
Like, there's a bunch of good stuff coming for it. And then they didn't announce the price in the actual direct.
Yep.
They did that online later. And ooh, buddy.
Like immediately afterwards. Like, because, you know, we were like covering it, and it was just, I was literally writing my video script, and they're like, oh, we already know the price. So I'm assuming that just means that they had to finish this video before they had the price locked down. Which makes sense.
That, or they were really worried about saying the price in the video because, wow.
Could be. Yeah.
So the original price was $450 American.
Yeah, for just the system.
Yeah, and then $500 for the bundle with Mario Kart World, which that game is $80, which is also wild.
Yep.
So it's a no-brainer. Why would you not buy the bundle?
Yep.
Exactly. That's the one to get. And then the tariffs situation. So we really don't know what the price is going to be because the tariffs are also kind of paused. Like,
yeah. And it's weird because I was reading an article where apparently the 450 did take a little bit of that tariff situation into consideration as well, but maybe not like the full amount.
I thought they said that the price had no consideration for the tariffs. I thought that was what Doug Bowser said.
I think that's true. Yeah, there was an interview with Doug Bowser, and he said this was like before tariffs. This was our price. Now the quote was something like, "Now we, much like I'm sure many companies in the States, are kind of waiting to see what happens."
Sure. Yeah, no, it's weird. It's a weird time right now for that.
Yeah. With Mario Kart, it is $700 Canadian.
Yeah.
Like,
that is more than I paid for my PS5.
That's the thing, is even when it's like the 450, that's the price of a discless Xbox or PS5 right now, which is pretty wild. I don't know if you guys remember what our predictions were. I know my prediction was 400.
I can tell you all of them.
I think mine. Oh, well, then go for it.
John was hoping for 400, but said 450. The reason I know is because we did this last week, and I did homework for when I talked with Nathan.
Okay.
So John said 450, but he was hoping for 400, so I wrote both down. Sean, you said 300, or no way. You said 400. I said 300, hopefully. And Nathan said $250.
Oh my God! How are Sean and I the most reasonable one, or the most correct ones? I guess.
I just think when you think back to like consoles launching at 300, I feel like we're in a different era of life. Like that's never happening again.
Yeah,
I remember buying a PS2 when it was still new for like under $200.
Yeah, like that's just.
I found my receipt for that the other day.
We've been in a world for like at least like 8 years of $1,000 phones are like the norm.
Yeah.
Like we're never going back to anything like that. It's the end of that.
Yeah.
Hooray.
Yeah. So I guess like my quote unquote hot take is that I was kind of expecting it after, especially the tariffs, that this was going to cost way more than I want to buy, but like, it's the only way I can play Nintendo games, so I'm gonna buy it, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts when it comes to a lot of their games as well. It's like there's no point waiting for a sale. You're going to save so little that you might as well just like spend the, extra 10% that they're going to discount it and just get it when you want it.
I will say, I think I can safely say, not to speak for both of you, but the three of us are in a part of our life and condition where we can afford to probably waste money essentially on this, so it's fine. But like,
I mean, for me, it's for work, so I can write it off. So,
but like, if I
for
had
me, work
a
is
kid
probably
and
buying it for me. So.
Yeah, exactly. You're probably getting it for free.
If I had a kid and they said I need you to spend $700 on this toy, I'd be like, "Are you fucking crazy?"
Yeah, no, like there's gonna be a lot of people who are priced out of this and can't get it.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's rough.
I mean, I think that's going to be the case with like with everything in video games as they get more expensive. There's always
like,
gonna be
we don't know if the tariffs are going to up the price even more or not. Too. That's the wild thing. Like,
yeah,
apparently Nintendo is supposedly is talking about price change, and I don't know if that means increase or decrease.
Well, so that's the other thing is, a lot of people are wondering because the games are more expensive as well. They seem to be like baseline $70. Sometimes 80, which is pretty unprecedented at this point.
Like that's over $100 and over Canadian. So like
so people are wondering like, hey,
here.
is that tariff as well? Does that affect digital versus physical? And because that's another thing is over in like it was like Nintendo's Spanish site, so they had these in euros. Donkey Kong was 10 euros cheaper digitally, which is also weird and something you don't really see. And the thing is, it's like even if the tariffs somehow like completely went away and it's like they could charge for less, they won't. They're not going to lower the price because now it's a win for everybody. Our console is not more expensive to pay and they get more money. Like there's no scenario where they're like, don't worry guys, it's going down to 400. We got you. Because they the worst thing has happened. They've said the big number. Now they just have to kind of live with it, and then and we have to adjust.
And we will. And they know it.
Oh, for sure.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
Nintendo tax, baby.
Yep.
Yep. And
But
I kind of side with Paul on the first party stuff. When we had the hour-long direct, I think Bonanza looks great. Mario Kart looks great. Air Riders coming back is funny.
Dude, I
was
lost
so
my mind.
mad about that. Genuinely.
You're mad.
Yes.
Why?
No. So like actively when I saw the trailer and I realized it was a air ride, I went, fuck, shit, god damn it.
What's wrong with that?
So Kirby's Air Ride is the game that a bunch of my female friends would literally force me to play because they were like, John, we need to beat you at a game. Please play please play the Air Ride with us. Like genuinely, literally the only time I played it was to get my ass kicked. So I was just like, so I have no good memories of that game. Genuinely,
So,
I actively despise that game because
you can create new good memories now.
I could, but I'm a jaded old man, so.
Yeah, you got to find all those old friends and one by one defeat them.
I think I only talked to one of them now. Like one of them I dated, and that was awkward.
Well, this is like a Scott Pilgrim scenario where you need to slowly defeat them one by one.
Oh my god!
True.
So you get resolution.
Yeah, true.
No.
Yeah, I played very little of Air Ride, but enough that I'm like I could play another one of those. Like it's more so like I kind of missed out on it. I would like to play a lot of Air Ride. And then
the game itself is actually good, so yeah, you'll have fun.
Sure.
And then the other half of it was a lot of third-party games that I'm never playing on a Nintendo platform. Are you kidding?
You don't want to play Hitman: World of Assassination on the Switch too?
I'm gonna play the Duskbloods because that's exclusive. What the fuck are you doing, guys? Come on!
I'm assuming Nintendo paid them money.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
There's no way. There's no way. I just found it so funny watching that trailer and be like, did they do Bloodborne 2 off of Sony? Because that's funny.
Yeah, basically anyway. The predecessor or the successor to.
And it's another multiplayer game. So they got 2 of those going right now.
Yeah. That part I'm kind of about, but I don't know. I'm still going to play it. I'm like, so whatever.
I feel like From Software has kind of like earned the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
So Yes, I'm looking forward to Dusk Bloods, but I just meant stuff like, they showed Tony Hawk, they showed Civ,
Yeah.
they showed Hitman. It's like,
Yeah.
can't wait to play these on my Xbox or on my computer.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way I'm ever playing these on a Nintendo console. It just makes no sense.
Totally.
But I guess it's good that they're there. Like when they were like, yeah, Elden Ring's gonna be on this, I was like, sure, why the fuck not?
Yeah.
It's kind of impressive that Elden Ring's on there, to be honest with you.
Honestly, that is a good sign for the system itself. But at the same time, I'm like, the Steam Deck does exist, so unfortunately, it's not the first portable Elden Ring. But
yep.
Yeah,
True.
I heard a pretty good point on another podcast I was listening to when they were talking kind of about like Switch versus Steam Deck, and because the Switch One has an install base of like 150 million.
Yeah,
people,
something bonkers high. Yeah.
And then we got like a it wasn't like super accurate, but a kind of rough estimate of like Steam Decks sold, and it's like 5 million. So, which implies if you go talk to like a typical person, they don't even know what a Steam Deck is. Like we kind of hear about it a lot because we're super
in the field.
It.
Yeah.
Like we're in the field. We are talking to literally the 5 million people that have played with a Steam Deck. But when you compare it to Nintendo, like it is such a fraction of the gamers out there that it almost doesn't even exist.
It is a market. It's a brand. It's a brand name. So
yeah, like so you just kind of which kind of implies like sure the Steam Deck might, I think there's reports saying the Switch 2 is more powerful, but the fact that it can play my PC games kind of makes it almost better.
Yeah.
That alone, it almost doesn't even matter because like people want the Nintendo thing because Nintendo's name's on it, and that's the only one they've heard of.
Yeah. Yep.
Can you imagine if Elden Ring's best-selling version ends up being the Switch 2?
It honestly could be.
Shocked. I mean, they sold a ton of those, but
we'll see.
I also that kind of brings up like I don't know who that person is. Who like is that interested enough in Elden Ring that they're waiting for like the Switch 2 version?
Yeah, that's.
I don't think it's people waiting for it. I think it's more people like, oh, I'm only in the Nintendo sphere of games. I've heard things about this, but I don't want to step out. Oh, it's finally coming here. I guess I'll give it a try. One game of the year, I'll give it a shot. There are definitely people who will be playing Elden Ring and their first Souls game for the first time because they heard about this and just only play Nintendo stuff.
For sure.
That market I guess 100% exists.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like if you do have an interest in like what Elden Ring is, you're not only on the Switch one. Like you have something else. But
sure, but that still must be a sizable market if they're even considering it. That or Nintendo paid real good.
Like Elden Ring sold enough that they could probably just port it to like anything going forward and it'll be fine. Like that's just it's such a good enough game that they could just keep doing that and be pretty confident.
Yep.
So like why not for sure.
Yeah, they announced like was it like Cyberpunk's going there? There was some like wild news story saying that the Cyberpunk game was ported in like 7 weeks or something bonkers like that.
Jesus.
Okay, I didn't hear that. I'll take your word for it.
Now we were just like, what?
I heard Cyberpunk runs at like 40 frames per second on that, but I believe it runs and looks better than the Steam Deck version. Some people were saying. This is actually a good part to mention.
Okay.
Literally tomorrow, I fly to LA to get hands-on with the Switch 2 at the Nintendo Switch 2 Experience because I won that lottery ticket thing.
Yeah, nice.
So Paul, I will need you to edit the show, please.
It's really something we should have talked about before. No, I'm just kidding. Of course.
But so yeah, no, I don't want to rehash like too much of last week's conversation. But Paul, what else did you guys talk about that was kind of an interesting point that John and I can kind of reflect on here?
I audibly like screamed when I saw that like Metroid Prime with the mouse. It's like yes, I can play it. Yeah.
Let's talk about the mouse stuff. So
yeah,
who's gonna play it mouse control? Sounds like Paul is.
Absolutely. The reason I hate Metroid Prime games is because I hate aiming with a controller. It's fucking awful. So this is great.
The one kind of interesting kind of wrinkle there is like that game's designed for lock on.
Yeah.
So the mouse is kind of like the opposite of that.
Yeah, maybe there's like an option or something to turn it off. We'll have to see how it works. Actually, tomorrow maybe you can see how it works.
Maybe. I mean, there has to be a controller-based one alone, since this is a Switch 1 title as well, and that has to work on the Switch Lite, which you cannot remove the Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
And because it's on the Switch one, they don't have mouse controls, so there has to be a version of just controller.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
My big question is, does that thing feel awful in your hand as when it's a mouse? Because it doesn't feel great when it's a controller.
It works really well.
Yeah. I have seen people say that
it works
surprising.
on any surface. People said they were trying it on like their pants and it worked perfectly fine.
Pants, I understand. What about like just like bare thigh? Like what if I'm naked?
I mean, you could try tomorrow. Let us know.
There you go. Take off your pants at the event.
Yeah, I'll just ask. Hey, is it okay if I put it on a few unique surfaces here?
Yeah, unique surfaces.
Yeah. So this is a good question for both of you. What's your like plan for? Are you gonna go thighs? Do you have like a desk? Are you gonna play your Switch at your desk?
I only play games at this desk, basically. So instead of a mouse right here, it will be the Joy-Con.
It'll be a bad mouse. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be here for that. If I'm on the move, I might try pants, but like, or if I'm on the couch, maybe. But like, that's like I would rather.
Just do like on your chest. You're just this guy on like the plane.
Yeah.
No, I'd rather not. A plane? No, absolutely not.
That would be so funny.
Yeah, I guess I'll try that out tomorrow. I don't play a ton of, like, I play my PC games here, but I rarely play my Switch here. Like, I have my big TV that I'm gonna want to use, so I'm gonna have to figure out: is it a pants situation? Is it like a on the couch cushions beside me situation?
Maybe like a book on the side.
Do I need one of those like Razer lap boards?
No,
nobody needs helpful in any sense.
Yeah, nobody needs.
You don't need the Razer one. You can get a fucking like beanbag filled ass lap desk for like $5, I'm sure.
Just another person. Can you just like lay on my lap for me and use their back?
Yeah, that might work.
Joseph, my Nintendo Switch 2 tray. Yeah. I'm just going through kind of the notes from last week to see what you hit. 4K 60, 120 hertz. That was cool. It's not OLED, so that's a bummer.
Yeah. The dock actually adds power this time around.
Makes sense. That little fan is cute.
And there's a fan in there. Yeah.
Oh, the other thing we talked about that, or almost didn't talk about, is that stupid tech demo thing that's not going to be free packed in. It's like, what are you guys doing?
That's
just
so
put that
dumb.
World Tour?
No. What the hell was it called?
Nintendo Switch 2 Tour.
No, I think it's World Tour.
Is it called World Tour? Oh,
my
that's
God. Is
confusing.
I think it's Nintendo Switch 2 World Tour. Yeah, that was wild when they said you're gonna pay for it. It's
$10.
$10, which I was wondering, like,
Welcome Tour. That's what it is.
Welcome
Tour.
Because when you said that, I was like, is he
W.
making a joke of like Mario Kart is the pack-in? That should have been free.
No. I thought it was called World Tour.
Okay.
Welcome Tour is right. I thought they were going to charge more, to be honest, because it's Nintendo and they like giving people like the middle finger right now.
I was hoping for $5 US. I feel like that would have been a lot more reasonable.
It's hard not to compare this to Astrobot's Playroom.
Yeah.
Yep. Fucking rules. Like, that game is so good.
Yep. And from what they showed, this doesn't look like a game so much as like an interactable like instruction manual on some cool shit that your new Switch will do.
Well, from what I've seen at the media events and stuff, it does seem like there are some like mini game kind of stuff in there, and there's like Easter eggs to find. So it is more than just like a fancy PDF display.
Yeah. But it's not a game like the way Astrobot is what I'm saying.
Yeah, sure. It really feels like it should have been actually packed in. I know people were talking about how Reggie in the past said getting Wii Sports as a pack-in for the US was really hard to do.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo believes anything they make should make money.
Apparently he fought really hard for that.
Which was a good idea because that thing sold gangbusters.
Yeah. That was insane. Like, could you imagine getting a Wii without Wii Sports? Like...
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Wii Sports was so integral to that thing. Like, so that was definitely good on them for sure. Absolutely. This is pretty wild. I don't know. So I guess I ask you, are you going to buy it?
Yeah, of course.
I'll buy it because people are going to want me to stream it. So.
Yeah, I guess I kind of just need to know, but like, we're not helping.
Honestly, anyone else who doesn't have to do this for work or is not morbidly curious, just watch a YouTube video of it. It's gonna be on there day 1, maybe even day -5 for all we know.
Yup. Don't buy it. If you can help it, don't buy it. I can't.
Do as I say, not
unless
as I do.
Unless it's actually secretly incredible. So.
There's no way, right? There's no way.
It'd be funny, but I don't think so.
It would be.
To be fair, like if someone was going to make a cool like kind of tech demo-y thing, it would be Nintendo. So like I would not be surprised if it was cool, but it's a hard pill to swallow. Given the fact, like this whole console, the games, everything, this welcome tour, it's expensive. Like it is above all of our expectations.
Yeah. Save your money for the actual games if you're getting it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, what else we got here? We should talk about the pre-orders. So the pre-orders was supposed to be April 9th. And to be fair, some countries did start pre-orders on April 9th. And then the States tariff thing hit the same day as the stream.
Yep.
And so those got delayed. And then because America has to take everyone down with them, Canada's got delayed because of America. So.
Yep. Pretty
How did that feel on your guys' side?
Pretty stupid.
I get it because people probably just gonna cross the border and buy the damn thing for cheaper.
I was literally thinking, should I just take a trip home, say hi to the folks, pick up a Switch too?
Yeah. That's why we got to build this wall. Can't let them in.
Did you see Japan selling a one that doesn't have region? It's region locked to Japan, but it's also like $130 cheaper or something bonkers like that.
I love it. It's like their form of a tariff. Fuck the world.
They're going to be selling 2 versions of each game over there, a like unregion locked one and then the Japan focused or specific one.
Interesting.
Which is
the
crazy.
Games or the console. I know they're doing for the console.
The games as well.
Oh my god.
That's some old school stuff. Like I gotta get the Japanese version of this game.
That is them being like, our yen sucks and we want this to actually like work here. So.
Totally. Yep.
Well, so then I ask you, John, do you need a Japanese Switch too for the collection?
EA. I can't speak Japanese except for like little words, so no.
Okay.
No. Yeah, EA.
Okay.
Funny.
The battery life is back to being bad again, 2 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours.
I know,
hours,
dude. I know.
Yeah.
Wild. Yeah, I don't know. OLED model in what? 3 years? 2 years? What do you think?
2.5.
When did the Switch 1 OLED come out?
The OLED was like 4 years in.
4 years.
They did the light first.
Yeah, when did that come out? I'm assuming they'll do all of these again. Switch Lite was 2 years, and then 2 years later was the OLED.
Okay, so 4 years, yeah.
What did we just talk about? Game chat? I guess that's like
Hey, it's Discord. It looks like Discord.
Yup, sure does.
It is just a voice chat, and which is funny because it's like, we had this like 3 generations ago, and then Nintendo being out here like
the Switch the Wii U had it. The Wii U did the same thing.
And then they have the Nintendo Switch 2 camera that you can set up beside your TV.
I can't wait to buy that thing. So stupid.
I will say, they showed that there's another version that is a piranha plant as the camera, and that's way better. Hori does like basically like official stuff anyway. So
I read
that one I would get.
You can plug any USB-C camera in, so you don't really need to buy a new one that is probably worse than your webcam. Did they confirm that? I believe it's any USB camera, yeah.
Oh my god, then
that's great.
What I'm saying, I'm going to put the Xbox Live Vision camera in.
I knew it.
Break that bad boy back out, get my 720p. Hey, they literally showed Uno.
Yeah,
when they were talking about game chat. They knew exactly what they were doing.
They did do that.
Yep. That's exciting to me, honestly. Being able to do Uno again the way it's supposed to be. Let's go.
So if we're doing game chat and you're sharing the screen, does that mean I get to see what your hand is?
Yes. If we're sharing the screen.
We're sharing the
built
screen.
In some blur feature or something.
That would be sick.
Oh,
they can't even build in more than 10 frames a second.
On, you're going to need a blur feature. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I was in the Uno mines back in the day. I know exactly what you're saying.
Exactly what you're saying.
So much porn. So much porn.
Sometimes you dig a little too deep and you find things you don't want to see.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's just the internet for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the game chat, it's not even free. You have to subscribe.
I mean, that's fair because that's an online feature and they don't.
Like it's part of their expansion.
I don't know if that's fair.
Right?
On the other consoles, you can chat with, and Discord, you can chat with your friends for free.
Yeah. Yeah. It's part of their expansion thing, right? Like, isn't that the price
It'll
of
be
it?
part of the,
yeah.
Well, it's a part of the Nintendo Switch Online. I can't remember if it's in the higher tier or not, but while
okay.
we're talking about the higher tier, GameCube games. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah.
I'm not shocked they waited for the launch of Switch 2. I'm just glad that one of the first things they showed off was F-Zero GX, because that's one of the best GameCube games.
Yep. I don't disagree.
I'm
The ones
also
that launch are
surprised to see
F-Zero.
Soul Calibur 2.
Soul
Yeah.
Calibur
F-Zero
2.
GX, Wind Waker, and Soul Calibur 2. Those were the three they showed.
And they showed
launch,
like
yeah.
a list of them. They had like Sunshine, they had Path of Radiance.
Pokemon
those will be
Coliseum
coming.
and XD, yeah.
Chibi Robo. Hell yeah. Let's go. More people.
All those
need to
games
play
are
Chibi
stupid
Robo.
expensive now, so yeah, I
Yeah.
can't wait for hopefully to see those go down a bit.
Okay. Any other Switch 2 thoughts before we kind of move on?
They already said that they're gonna do the thing that's kind of weird that they're doing is like some games won't be on the cart if you buy physical, but the cart will be a lock to turn on the game.
Game key. That's what it's called.
Yeah. So you can buy a physical copy of the game, but you have to download the game. This is just basically an unlock key in cartridge form for the game, which is weird as a physical collector, but also kind of neat for people who actually buy games and sell them or trade them in, because that means they can still be traded in.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the only reason that they're doing that is because out of all the platform holders, Nintendo probably sells the most physical just because they have such a large component. I don't actually think it's that weird. I think it's pretty rare these days to buy a game that has a disc that has the full game on it. Like there's a day one update. Their only part of the game is there. That's been that since like the Xbox One, the PS4. Like,
It's just a DRM thing, basically. Yeah, that's true.
And also just like a space thing. Like, they have to print these things before they can update and get rid of bugs. There's always a day one patch. As someone who plays a lot of games pre-release, there's several patches before it goes live.
Of course, yeah.
And because they can keep working on the game. So yeah, I think it's just the idea of buying a game and completely going offline with it for the entire existence. I think that's just a version of gaming that's in the past, and it's not around anymore. We've moved on. You need the internet if you're playing video games.
I don't know. That's one thing I hate, because what if I go on a trip and I want to just pick up a game while I'm there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know. There's edge cases. I don't know. As a collector, I obviously have opinions on it, but I will admit that's kind of a neat thing to still enable reselling.
It's something I hate because I don't like stuff like the Crew, where it's like I bought this, say I love the Crew 1 and only 1. Well, now I'm fucked because they just decided no, that's not going to exist anymore. So yeah, there's definitely cases against it, but it is unfortunately just the way things go.
Yeah, I mean, and it's been like that long enough, you know what I mean? It's not a new thing. Yeah, the Crew situation, it sucks, but I feel like the Crew is kind of the one main example, unless you're really into Concord.
For video games, but there are definitely shows that have had just their an episode completely wiped off the map, movies that you can't find anymore because they won't release them officially. Yeah. It's just the problem with digital is that it can be taken back at any time, where physical, if it's on a thing, at least it's in your house. But that, like you said, that probably hasn't been the case for the last 10 years at least anyways.
Yeah, I mean, more than half the games that come out need to be on touching a server while you play them anyways. There is barely an offline
to verify
mode,
or something.
So
yeah.
So that's just the reality of it.
Those may have to like it though.
Exactly. Yeah, that's all it is. I get it.
Right. Yep. Okay, let's do this one last news story, and then we'll talk about some games you played. The Triple I Initiative Showcase was today. I watched about half of it. Did you watch the whole thing, Paul?
I did. Yep.
All right. Why don't
I have
we
a
go
list
through
of
and call
things to
out some
talk
stuff?
about if you guys want to go through them or whatever, but
yeah, let's do it.
I completely missed that this was today.
Yeah, I just caught it when I got home because I was out all day, unfortunately. So the first game they showed I thought was really cool looking, Neverway. It started off almost looking like a weird Stardew or something. It looked a little quote unquote cozy, but it actually turned into maybe a Legend of Zelda type game or something, a top-down adventure sort of thing with horror themes in it.
I do think it does.
Oh shit! Disaster Piece did the music for this. Oh no,
dude, I lost my shit. I love Disaster Piece.
I do think there's still some cozy elements to this.
Yeah.
You know, it is farming simulator adjacent. But you're right. There is a dark part to it, so it's almost like Graveyard Keeper, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. A little more actiony though.
There's more Deep Rock Galactic coming with Rogue Core. I'm always happy for more Deep Rock.
Yep.
What else jumped out at you?
Oh, I mean, I thought we were just going to jump to Moonlighter 2 because I know that you're a stan.
That was going to be my next one. Moonlighter 2 looks so good. And
it looks very good.
This summer on a Game Pass. I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, it looks very, very good. I lost my mind that Heroes of Might and Magic is officially back in 2025. Like, I still actually can't believe it. I'm so weirdly excited for this nostalgic game that died like 20 years ago, that game style, and now it's back, probably because Songs of Conquest came out, and it like...
Even called Olden Era? Are you kidding me?
Olden Era, yeah.
Amazing.
And it looks pretty great. So I'm very, very excited about that. That's very cool.
Just scrolling through this. The Eternal Life of Goldman still looks great.
Yeah.
Excited for that.
I just want to show out
Zero DLC. Oh, that's what they finished with. Okay.
So that pissed me off because I was like, holy shit, it's happening. It's happening. And the whole announcement is, yeah, we're still working on it. It's like, okay, great. Thanks. Yep. Thanks for that, I guess. The Altars is out June 13th, and Deep Rock Galactic Survivor is out on September 17th and 1.0. Both games I want to check out. Speedrunners 2.
More Vampire Survivors.
The Vampire Survivors thing's actually pretty big. So for that's out today, that update. It is free. Yeah. It adds a bunch of characters from the Saga series, which I never played the Saga series, so I don't know these characters specifically, but there's a whole bunch of them, a whole bunch of new weapons, a new ability, like the showstopper abilities or whatever. Basically, you just like get these overpowered screen clearing garbage at some point. There's cross save now available between the PC, Xbox, and mobile versions, so you can actually like play between different things on the same save, which is huge for me because I was playing it on my phone for a while, but I missed having a bunch of the stuff I had unlocked on the PC, so now I'll probably play it on my phone again. Also, what's it called? The co-op, this is the co-op update too, right? So you can play it co-op now.
I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, like it's up to 4 players.
I mean, it was already co-op on the Switch. They launched the Switch one with that, so
makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess it's on other platforms now.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
So yeah, pretty big update.
Speedrunners 2?
Yeah, that I'm excited for.
That game.
Yep. I had V Rising, that like DLC or expansion or whatever, looked pretty cool. Gives me a reason to go back into V Rising. I guess that's out on the 24th, so I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon since it's right in the middle of all these other games, but you know.
Sure. Yeah. I thought Starbirds looked cool.
Yeah, that looked okay. I agree. Not bad. I wrote Dusk Fade, but I don't remember which one that was. Oh, that's the 3D action adventure looking game. Yeah, that looked cute. I'd probably try that.
This Into the Fire game looks cool.
Yeah. Eternal Life of Goldman is kind of
the first time mostly. Yeah.
That Clover Pit game looked cool because it looked like Buckshot Roulette, but instead of you against a like person with a shotgun back and forth, you are just gambling at a like machine or whatever.
Yeah.
But it looks like if you like Balatro stuff, it looks like it maybe is doing some of that where you can like get different like layouts or whatever and like different combos or whatever. So it looked kind of cool. I'd probably try that out.
Nice.
And the last thing I had is No, I'm Not a Human looks fantastic because I like that weird analog horror shit, and that looks like what that's doing.
Yeah, this looks like a game I probably won't play.
Fair enough.
Too scary.
Fair enough.
All right. So all right, that was the news for kind of the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about what we've been playing. And Paul, why don't you start us off?
Oh, okay. I finished Avowed. I don't remember. No, I hadn't finished it by last week, so I am completely done that game now.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Happy with it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I'm more positive than I am negative about it. I just kind of wish it was bigger. Is the thing.
Okay. All right.
And the ending is okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to talk too much about the ending, obviously, but they do kind of a big thing that wraps stuff up, and then I feel like it just ends like really abruptly, which is, I don't know if maybe it's because of my choices, but I don't think so, because it just kind of ended right after a thing. So maybe like they're setting up for more later or something. But
there's got to be an Avowed 2.
Or like an expansion or something I could see.
Sure, an expansion. I mean, it did so well.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they get to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, that game's cool though. I like it. Good time. Castlevania ReVamped. It's a fan game that came out last year, and it is taking Castlevania 1 and Chronicles and like ideas from that and basically making them into the Metroidvania style that people kind of came to know after the GBA and DS games. So it's basically like an old or a classic Vania game done in a giant world that you can like go between the different rooms and whatever. It's cool. Very, very cool. Highly recommend if you like Castlevania stuff. And even if you don't, maybe like those old games, it might be one worth checking out because it doesn't play like an old Castlevania game. Like the jump doesn't have the weird momentum. It does have knockback, but you can get an item upgrade later if you want to. There's like a shop system where you can buy perks, kind of like I think Shovel Knight with or not Shovel Knight, Hollow Knight with like the pins or whatever. Like you can equip different perks or whatever, and like you can get rid of that completely or whatever. Yeah, that game is really cool. High recommend for Castlevania fans. And then the big one is South of Midnight came out, so I've been playing that.
Yeah,
I started that up, and I'm about halfway through.
The embargo was last week or when exactly it was, but I've been playing this for a few weeks now. I'm about 3/4 of the way through.
Okay. For me, I'm trying to remember the last big thing. Oh, I just met up with the grandma again at her house. There's kind of like, you're going through her shit and there's kind of like an exposition dump, essentially, of what happened with her and her son.
Okay, yes, yeah. The next chunk and like boss you do, I think was my favorite part so far.
Yeah, it's so the I think I'm at chapter 7. It's like the way to like accurately say where I am, and it's weird because I think there's 2 or 3 chapters that are like an hour and a half long, and then a few chapters that are like 10 minutes. So it's kind of hard to gauge. I do know how many chapters there are in the game total, and it's kind of hard to gauge what that even means because some chapters are quite short and story focused, and some are like, you're in this giant area with this big thing like roaming around, and you have to do a bunch of stuff to be able to heal this thing or talk to it or do whatever. And I didn't think the stuff, Two-Toe Tom is great, but I didn't think the stuff with Two-Toe Tom story-wise was as compelling to me as with the brothers before it. I like that stuff more.
I think you'll like the next one.
Sure. There's nothing better to me than like a nice tragedy for story and character development in a game. It's very good.
This game is dark. Like
there's a lot of
that
dark
you're like
shit
learning. It's surprisingly dark. And then for those who don't really know what South of Midnight is, it's basically just like a character action game.
Yeah.
With like a platforming element. I thought it was actually pretty similar to like Psychonauts 2.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
In terms of like a lot of the ways you kind of traverse the world. Psychonauts 2 is more open. Like it has that huge open area right outside the main campus or whatever. This is more smaller like corridors that you're going through. Things will fork. If there's a fork in the road, click in the right stick to see where the game wants you to go, and always go the other way. There is always something there.
I forgot that there was actually like the trail for the first like 3 or 4 chapters. So I was just running around aimlessly trying to figure out okay, is this the way? Maybe this is the way. Maybe, like, yeah, you just click in the stick and go the opposite way.
And then kind of the big visual element of it is, it's obviously cell shaded, but they've lowered the frame rate so that everything looks like a stop motion animation. And even the characters, they all look kind of claymation. Like if you're playing on like a high enough, like the whatever the resolution mode is, which I'm forgetting the name of it at the quality.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, quality mode. You can actually see like it looks like someone like kind of carved in the clay on like their face and stuff. Like, so it looks really cool. You can turn that off if that's for accessibility reasons. If you don't like the way that looks, I think it's pretty striking and pretty unique. So I kept that on. And then the other aspect is they have a lot of like unique songs.
Yes.
That will play about kind of what is happening. I'm not actually a huge fan of the songs themselves, but I kind of like the idea more about it.
So the first one especially, the second one wasn't as bad. They are corny in a way that you probably would assume that like a song dictating what is happening in the story at that moment could be. But
sure.
Musicality and instrumentation for the songs are incredible. Like they're amazing pieces of work with like stupid ass lyrics at some points, which I think
that's the problem. Is like I love the idea of it. I love kind of the instrumentation and kind of what you're doing as the songs are happening. You're usually like climbing up to this big kind of crescendo, but I do think the lyrics are just bad.
They're very silly in some of the cases. Yeah.
Yeah, but I can't help but just like appreciate like the studios clearly like they had a vision in mind and they kind of swung for the fences with it. So I appreciate that aspect of it. I think this is I don't think it's like a great game, but I think it's like a really cool and like worth playing game because again, outside of like Psychonauts 2, it's kind of a unique thing.
So my biggest problem with the game is the actual act of playing it. I just think it's kind of mediocre at best. Like, I don't think the combat is particularly good, but it's not bad, so I do it. And sometimes it's frustrating because, like, I kind of just want to get to the next story beat or the next environmental thing because I think they are hitting it completely out of the park, writing-wise, and with, like, the world that they built. And I feel like I'm being slogged down just killing, like, 7 to 10 creatures in an area for a little bit because it's a video game. So like it's stuff like that that's like I don't feel I would have got less out of it watching somebody play like on the couch or something because the stuff I'm really enjoying is everything that isn't necessarily the gameplay. I also don't think a lot of the world platforming is great. Like it's serviceable but not what I would say good or inspired, which is fine because that's not what I'm here for anyway.
I do think the combat is the weakest part and the least interesting.
Yeah,
like you said, it just kind of feels like it's in there because like video games almost expect it, or video games of this kind of size would almost expect it.
Yeah.
I didn't confirm this, but I was seeing one reviewer or previewer or whoever did it. You can, I guess, go into the accessibilities and turn the combat off so that it skips them.
So I did see in the accessibility at the very beginning you have like easy, normal, hard, and then a custom mode. And in custom, you actually get this huge list of stuff that you can just change everything in that game, depending on what you find difficult to deal with or whatever. So combat, you can, like you said, make combat basically not exist. Some of the platforming stuff, they fix a little bit, like visual stuff. So, no, it's very, very cool. Very cool that way. I just went on normal. On like whatever.
Yeah, I did normal as well. This is on Game Pass, so it's pretty easy to check out. And it's the studio that did We Happy Few.
Yes.
Which I always felt was like, I can't remember the name of the studio, but I always felt was kind of like a curious pick for Xbox because I didn't think We Happy Few kind of lit the world on fire. So I'm not really sure kind of what they saw from that.
Yeah.
So that makes me worried, like, because I don't think South of Midnight is lighting the world on fire. It seems like a lot of people who reviewed it, they do like it, but it's no one's like shouting from the rooftops, you need to play this game. So I'm very curious what's going to happen to the studio, if they're going to be left alone or if Xbox is going to come in and be like, it's going to be a hi-fi rush situation or something. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like people should play this game.
Whenever like now an Xbox game studio puts a game out, I'm always like scared for them now.
Yeah. Yep.
Microsoft put the fear of God in them and everyone at this point, I guess.
For sure.
Compulsion Games. Yeah. As I said in the chat, Compulsion. That's the studio. Yep.
Yeah. It's super awesome though. Like I really love the story and writing and characters and stuff. And it gets your. I will say maybe the beginning wasn't as fast as I wanted it to be. It took like 1 or 2 chapters, but it got its hooks in pretty deep now, and I definitely need to see it through. I need to see what's going on with Bunny because that bitch crazy.
Sure. Yeah. No, I also do like the characters and the setting quite a bit. It's pretty unique. Like it's set in like the American South. So it's just kind of like a perspective and a kind of a framework. We don't see that very often in games. So I appreciate that.
It's a perfect setting too when like one of the major driving forces of the game is basically like traumas cause like this weird what is it, the grand tapestry to like tear or whatever, and that's what's causing like these monsters and stuff. So like what more traumatic place than the past of the South of the United States, right? There's a lot of bad shit that went on there, which they kind of lean into in the first chapter, even when you like meet your first ghost that you're following.
Right. Yes, you're right. Yep.
It's cool.
Okay, so that was what you played. That's South of Midnight is the only thing I played that I can talk about this week. So John, what have you been playing?
I got through Mortal Kombat 11, the entirety of it. So,
Oh,
hooray!
Nice.
Yeah. So
You excited?
those were fun.
You excited for one?
I installed it. I got ready to start playing it, but by the time it was done, because Xbox does this fun thing where it doesn't install on my actual drive, it installs on my backup drive and doesn't tell me it's doing that. So then I have to retransfer everything back over.
Okay.
But yeah, I installed it and it was too late to start the story, so I decided to just kind of mess around with the actual like just a couple of random matches.
Mm-hmm.
I almost think I like the gameplay in 11 more. It's not even all that different. It's not even all that different.
I was gonna say, what is different? I remember this has like the tag-in kind of.
It says the tag-in system. That's the big thing. Like cameos, I think is what they call them. So you basically can tag them in, and they. The frustrating thing is, there's different difficulty levels for the tag-ins. Like there's like advanced ones, like, and then expert ones, and there's like beginner ones and stuff like that. So. Whatever they do, and there's multiple inputs for the tag in. So like if you hold like up and tag in, you might get like someone doing an uppercut tag versus like down and tag in might be like a slide or something. But like I'm at the point where I'm not thinking to do that because I'm also focusing on the actual fight. So I'll end up calling in one that doesn't help me, for example.
Yeah.
So things like that's a little annoying. Mechanically, otherwise, it does seem fairly similar. I'm a little worried about the story before I even start it because I got really attached to the characters from 9, 10, and 11.
Oh no!
And one is a retcon,
Yeah.
or a redo, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious what they changed, if anything, because I actually really liked the I guess they called them the combat kids. So I liked that a bunch of the characters actually had kids, and they were actually kind of neat characters. Like I liked Cassie, I liked Jackie. And they don't exist in the current continuity. So I'm curious to see what fills what gap. I know one thing they did is apparently they made Sub-Zero and Scorpion brothers this time around instead of rivals.
Yes.
So I'm curious about little things like that, how that's going to change the overall feel. Like the storytelling is probably going to be good because I really enjoyed how they did 11. Aftermath felt unnecessary, but like whatever. And the roster for the game is kind of bonkers in a way because of like all the weird guest characters they have, and like they have a bunch of characters from Mortal Kombat that have been either dead or forgotten about for so long. So it's weird seeing characters like Reiko and Natara, like all these characters that are just like, oh, this one was in from one 3D game. This guy was in just Mortal Kombat 4, or like stuff like that. So it's like a bunch of weird appearances. So I'm curious to dig into it, but I also noticed the game has a premium currency you can buy to get outfits and brutalities and things like that, and I'm not jazzed about that.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping they're not too bad about that. But there is one thing I saw in the game for Mortal Kombat 1 that looked really cool, and that was invasions.
Okay.
They literally have characters, like normal characters from the roster, come from other universes, so they're like a completely different version of, say, Scorpion, and then like they have cutscenes for them where like they literally show up, explain why they've gone insane or something like that, and then you have to fight them, and then once you do, you get a resolution of like what happens to their storyline. They did something cool where Scorpions, for example, he gets access to this hourglass that gets him access to all these other dimensions, and he tries to find his wife because his wife died in his universe, but every universe he found, his wife died again, except for one universe where she married Sub-Zero. So he goes insane, attacks the dimension you're in, And then once that's been resolved, at the end of it, Liu Kang, because he's a fire god now, so Liu Kang's a god now.
Yeah.
He finds a world that has, in that world, Scorpion is the one that died, and his wife turned into Scorpion and went on a murderous rampage. So like they show like a drawn picture of like both of them as Scorpion running around kicking ass because they're bonding over the trauma of their other loved one dying. And I'm like, that's actually kind of cool the way they've done that. So I want to dig into some of those and see how those go.
Nice.
But yeah, no, I'm excited to play 1 eventually, but I enjoyed my time with 11. I'm playing Logiart Grimoire. That's what I'm playing off to the side here. It's picross. It's Jupiter. Did it again. Yeah. But it's all on. It's like on every platform now because this is on Steam and a bunch of other things. You do small puzzles to make little materials, and then you combine the materials to make the bigger puzzles and stuff like that. So it's a little more involved version of picross. It's cute. I'm digging it. And last night on stream, we kind of had a weird nostalgia day, for lack of a better term. Okay. I ended up just playing a bunch of games I grew up with. So I started with like Little Nemo for the NES.
Oh, that's why you were playing that. I saw that. Okay.
Yeah. Because another streamer friend was playing it, so I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll bust it out and try it out.
Okay.
So I played through that, busted out Super Buster Bros because that was another one from my childhood.
Nice.
Took out Tiny Toon Adventures Buster Bust Loose. I actually surprisingly beat this one. We beat 5 games last night. I haven't played this one in forever, but we managed to beat it. And then I made the mistake of revealing how dumb my childhood experiences were for games. So we ended up playing through Chester Cheetah Too Cool to Fool for the Super Nintendo. Oh, man. And then the rest of the night was talking about Chester Cheetah lore until we ended up playing Popeye 2 for the Game Boy. Then we went on about Popeye lore.
That's why you were playing that. Okay. When I checked in again, I was like...
It was a weird-ass stream, man. It was a good time.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, that's basically all I've been playing.
Cool.
Nice.
All right. Let's do some questions. topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Blue Sky, the Discord channel, and John's P.O. Box are all ways to send questions in. You could sound like Suku, who writes, I was listening to another podcast where they were going through the top 300 games on Metacritic, and it showed me how flawed the system really is. It heavily favors games released between 2000 and 2007 due to more lenient scores during the time, early PC games due to being one of the few to give enough reviews back in the day. Okay. And games that cater towards very niche audiences like The House in Fata Morgana. Anyway, I'm not going to make you do the same. Instead, just the top 15. How many of these games have you played?
Okay.
Right, here we go. Ocarina of Time. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Soul Calibur 1.
Yep.
Yeah.
GTA 4. Yes.
Yeah.
Super Mario Galaxy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Super Mario Galaxy 2. Yes.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. No.
Barely.
Yes.
I've played it a little bit.
Perfect Dark. Barely.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Red Dead Redemption 2. Yes.
Nope.
Yes.
Grand Theft Auto 5. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Metroid Prime. Yes.
Yes.
Grand Theft Auto 3. No.
Yep.
Yes.
Mario Odyssey. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Halo 1. Yes.
Yes.
And NFL 2K1. No.
Nope.
Probably not.
I remember people praising the 2K games before they got bought by 2K, or because it was just on Sega consoles. But yeah,
doesn't ring a bell. Yeah, so.
Well, those are the top 15 games of all time, as opposed said by Metacritic.
Okay, cool.
It's a good list of games.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Yeah,
a little weird,
yeah,
some of them, but sure. Dead writes, 2 years ago, Nintendo introduced a Switch bundle, which was a Mario Choose One bundle. You got the Switch and then the choice of one of 3 Mario games. Mario Kart, New Super Mario Bros. U, or Super Mario Odyssey. Today, Nintendo will introduce a Best of Nintendo Switch bundle with the first/second party game representing each year as an option. You are asked to pick the selections.
What? Oh.
We're picking one game per year for like its life?
So from 2017 till now, I guess?
So pick 8 games, I guess. We gotta know what year came from what.
How do I even look this up?
I'm just gonna look up list of best-selling Switch games.
Best games.
When did Mario Kart 8?
2017 is Breath of the Wild. Obviously.
Okay.
I would say 2017 is Mario Kart.
Yeah, it's definitely Mario Kart if that's the same year.
Yeah, it
well,
is.
we're making our own list, like what people get to choose, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I choose Mario Kart.
I'll choose Mario Kart as well.
I'm just making sure. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
I'm picking Zelda. What was 2018?
2018 is Smash Brothers Ultimate, so I'm picking Smash Ultimate.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is there any other contenders?
This site has 50 games per year, and they're not all. Oh, and there's like multiple pages. This site sucks.
2018 also saw the release of Super Mario Party, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. This is me just reading like the top best.
Three Houses,
games.
Fire Emblem Three Houses.
I feel like Fire Emblem was a different year. Yeah, Fire Emblem was 2019.
Yeah, nothing you're saying is beating Ultimate.
I'm actually looking up 2019.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's Ultimate for 2018.
2018 is absolutely smashed. Yeah.
Yeah.
2019, let's see, Pokemon Sword and Shield, New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe.
Oh, it's Mario Maker 2 for me, 100%.
Luigi's Mansion 3, Mario Maker 2.
I'll do Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Link's Awakening.
Oh, that was Cadence of Hyrule.
Yes, that was a cool game.
Talk about that game.
That was fun.
Yep.
I think I'm with Sean on this one. I think I'm with Fire Emblem Three Houses. Because like Mario Maker 2 was great, but like we've already got a Mario game.
Dude,
on the list.
Mario Maker 3, Mouse. Let's go.
Mouse. Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, but Nintendo dropped 2 so hard.
No, dude, they fucking hate Mario Maker. There's no way. Like,
yeah,
I get it, but goddamn.
Okay, 2020, I'm going Animal Crossing.
2020.
That's probably a safe bet. I'm not even seeing anything else in the top 7. Oh yeah, 3D All Stars. No. Clubhouse Games, nah. Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, Paper Mario Origami King, no. Among Us, no. Pikmin 3 Deluxe, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, Rescue Team DX, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, Mario Kart Live. I'm just adding Mario Kart Live just to make the bundle gigantic.
Just for the hell of it, yeah.
Just for the hell of it. I think Sean's right. I think it's
yeah, I think so too.
Okay, 21 had WarioWare Get It Together, which is that's the bad one, right?
Yeah, that's when we have to like move the characters around.
Yeah, that is not great.
Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, Mario Party Superstars, which that might be my pick.
Oh, new Pokemon Snap might be my pick.
Was Wonder that year?
No, Wonder was like last
2 years ago.
Or sorry, 23.
Yeah. 23. Okay.
I'm gonna say Mario Party Superstars.
And I'm gonna do what did I say? New Pokemon Snap.
Man,
it was a weak year for Nintendo.
I was gonna say, like, because I'm looking here and I don't see anything. I guess I.
Mario Golf Super Rush. I did enjoy that.
I see that one. Yeah, no thanks. It was Super Mario 3D World and Bowser's Fury, but I mean it's a re-release.
Yeah, I'd choose that because I enjoyed it. Bowser's Fury was fun. That's my 2021.
All right, 2022. That's Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That's
Scarlet
Splatoon
and
3, Bayonetta 3, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Oh, that's the second Mario and Rabbids game. We skipped the first one, whenever that was.
Yeah. I would probably say Legends Arceus. Because I don't think we have a Pokemon. Oh, my bundle doesn't have a Pokemon game yet.
And that is the correct one to pick between the 2 Pokemon games that came out. Kirby and the Forgotten Land is
Scarlet
cool.
and Violet, even though it ran like shit. But yeah.
I'll probably give it to Arceus as well. That's just one of the more interesting Pokemon games.
I think I'm choosing Splatoon 3.
Okay.
Also a good choice.
Then 23 would be Wonder, right?
For me,
Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom. I would probably do Tears because my bundle didn't have Breath, so.
But I haven't put like a Mario game in there. Like I didn't pick Odyssey. I would probably pick Wonder because I did pick Breath and I liked Breath more than Tears of the Kingdom.
I loved Odyssey.
Odyssey more.
Or sorry, I loved Wonder. That's an easy choice
I like
for
Wonder
me.
too. So maybe I would. I'm torn because of my list. I would say, yeah, Wonder or Tears.
I guess last year I'm picking Echoes of Wisdom.
Yeah, what even
Oh,
did they
last year.
release last year?
Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, Echoes of Wisdom. I think that was
Mario
kind
Party
of
Jamboree.
I think I'm going Jamboree. It kind of hurts, but I mean, I had a great time with a few friends in it. Nothing else here is popping up.
Yeah, I think I already put a Mario Party in there, so yeah, I'll probably say Echoes of Wisdom.
I guess that's it, because they don't think they put out much Switch stuff. I guess this year would be Metroid Prime 4 for Switch 1.
Currently that's out. I think it's just Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
Because I mean, theoretically, thing they put out. I guess that, yeah, okay, that has come out, sure.
Yeah, the list this year is going to be nuts because, like, who knows what's coming out, except for, like, Metroid Prime and the other small ones that are going to be multi-plat.
Yeah.
All right, Paul, do you want to read this next one?
Oh, I got this next one.
Oh, sorry, John.
Rasterman says, congrats, you're now the owner of a brand new fridge called the Glacier Freeney.
God damn it.
It has replaced your current fridge and works in much the same way as before. The catch? You don't know this, but every time you finish a movie or TV series, a random food item from it disappears. However, if there are no items left, the fridge automatically fills itself with random items. How many movies or TV series do you think it would take you to make the correlation between these events? I barely watch movies or TV, so it would take years, possibly.
Maybe 2 or 3.
My fridge is never empty, so I would never see that second thing happening where it like all filled up, which would be more of a giveaway than the first one.
That would be a major giveaway, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty good at, like, if stuff goes in my fridge, I am going to eat it. Like, I don't really leave stuff there.
Right.
So I would probably pick up if something does disappear.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
So yeah, maybe like 3 or 4.
Okay.
Times, yeah.
I think it depends on what is going, because if it's something you eat on the regular, like say like use milk or for like cereal or something like that, you would definitely notice that missing. I think it just depends on what goes away.
Yeah, I just don't think I have a ton of stuff in my fridge that I don't kind of eat pretty regularly.
Hmm.
Like I'm pretty good at, like, I'm buying this because I'm going to eat all of it. I'm not going to, I don't have like a lot of like saving this sauce for 3 months from now kind of thing.
Right.
Kenny writes, what video game moments, ideas, theories do you think work better because you're interacting with it in a video game versus reading something?
Choose your own adventure.
You can choose your own adventure with reading.
Yeah, true.
Oh,
but I
yeah.
think
There's those like Netflix.
Like Stanley
it's like
Parable.
easily done in game. Sure. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. Anything meta, probably.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say kind of anything where like the act of moving this character is important.
So
like baby steps.
Sure, baby steps. One that came to mind was like Brothers.
Yeah, I didn't want to say like, but there's a moment in Brothers where it's like, this is impactful because it's
this can only be done in a video game. Yeah. Or I think about that part in like Metal Gear Solid 4 where you're like crawling through the tunnel.
Sure.
You're like mashing the button for like way too long.
Yep. Those are both good. I think anything where you're climbing a giant, like Shadow of the Colossus or God of War, the beginning or whatever, or
that really long ladder from Metal Gear Solid 3.
Yeah, where you're just scaling something huge and then like you get to do a cool thing is usually pretty fun.
Anything on the DS where you needed to close the DS? That was pretty cool.
Yep. Yep.
Or not to say these moments because they're like spoilers, but
yeah, there's
stuff like that, I guess.
There's a lot of them. Final question from Hebrew Lantern. I'm sure you know the phrase dream blunt rotation. I do not. An ideal group of celebrities you would want to smoke a joint or 4 with. What is your dream multiplayer group? Your ideal group of celebrities to have a game night with. For the sake of simplicity, the definition of celebrity can be any famous / well-known person, real or fictional. They don't have to be a pro gamer, but they should know how to play a video game.
I would actually like to hang out with John Cena. He seems like an actually kind of interesting person.
Okay. I'm trying to think of like who would be like a good kind of pairing, like who would lead to like a good kind of cool discussion. And what immediately came to mind was like, and let's assume like translations, everyone can just speak to each other normally. Miyamoto and Tony Hawk were immediate.
Oh, that would be good.
That would be interesting, actually. Yeah, that's cool.
I got my brain went to Bill Nye.
Okay.
I think it'd be really fun to like play a game with Hideo Kojima and just ask like what he thought of stuff.
Yeah, no,
just
Kojima,
the way he sees
absolutely.
shit that way. Be interesting.
And so in this, we're doing like a multiplayer game. Like, what kind of game are you picturing? Like, are we playing Overcooked with these people?
Well, it says celebrities to have a game night with, so I don't. It's kind of.
I'm just
open.
saying in your head when you're sitting around the couch and you're playing. What do you imagine you're all playing together?
I could see Smash. Smash is like low key enough, and you can have like breaks in between easily.
Smash with Sakurai would be fun. Just like talking with him. I like talking to people that make games about their games. It's fun. Oh my god, what the fuck is his name? Henry Cavill seems like a real legit like nerdy dude. I would love to talk Warhammer with that dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a fun one to kind of throw in the mix there. I just want I want people that are like, I don't want just like game developers. I want people that are like also kind of like outside of it, so that they're like asking questions of like each other kind of, and we're just having like a cool discussion. I guess that's kind of where like Tony Hawk came from.
Sure. Tony Hawk would be pretty fun actually too. Yeah. That's a good one. Man. Who else? Keanu Reeves just seems like a nice dude, even though I kind of hate that.
Yeah, sure. Oh, that would be a good one.
Yeah. That Rogers commercial.
Would be a good one. I do think John Cena would be a fun game.
Stick to acting.
I hate it.
Maybe like, I don't know, Emma Stone.
Okay.
That'd be cool too.
If he could be brought back, Robin Williams.
Oh, dude.
Holy shit. Yeah, I bet that'd be super fun.
Now I'm sad. Fuck.
Sorry. I've done my job for the day.
All right. That's going to do it for questions. topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Blue Sky, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What is your game of the week?
Castlevania ReVamped.
Mortal Kombat 11.
Nice.
I can't talk about it yet, but I can't wait until I can.
Sure.
That's going to be it. Thanks, everybody, for listening. I'm going to go play the Switch 2 shortly.
Yay.
Very exciting. I'll talk about that next week.
Nice.
See you guys later.
Or taking off your pants.
Yeah. Floozy.